Hello everybody, welcome back to Thomas Plays Games. I'm playing Factorio. This is episode 9 of our Let's Play. And I left off starting to set up the system that I want to, trying to get into position the way, the area and the system that I want to make the military science packs out of. So, we should be getting some turrets from those. It turns out that's not nearly enough. Not enough iron and not enough gears coming in to actually get a really substantial amount of turrets, but we're working towards them. We got the turrets being produced. We got turrets should be producing well. The level 2 bullets should be doing pretty good job. I'm looking at these things trying to figure out what the next research I want is. So I just finished the previous one. And I figure I should start upgrading the power poles. Get to level 2. Get to those for level 2. And I'll start throwing down some of the mining drills into this stone patch, try to clear the stone patch out. It takes up quite a bit of space in an area that I do want to be using mostly for smelting. So there's two things you want to do with the stone. You want to either smelt it into the bricks or make it into landfill. So the landfill is currently the thing that I'm more concerned with, because I do have a bunch of water I'll probably want to deal with, and also landfill's a really effective use of the stone. It's a really effective way to get rid of stone. It's 20 stone per single landfill tile, which is a pretty hefty chunk. You can clear out half a patch with one chest of landfill normally. Well, depending on how resource rich the chest is, but still. It's pretty good. So I'm missing a belt there. Upgrade or place that one down so I can get the turrets coming in. And yeah, just head back over to look at this area up here again, the smelting area. The good thing I placed these paths, saves a lot of time in walking. And yeah, so I grabbed some belts, now I'm ready to position these, I'm ready to connect up this whole area. And I'm looking at them like I'm pretty low on belts still, but I figure I'll try to just throw down whatever I need. Can make a couple more in my inventory. It's pretty costly in terms of resources, but it's not bad, and it's not that much space that I have to fill. So yeah, once I get these two columns of mining drills producing a bunch of landfill, I figure I'll just leave that, let the patch clear out a little bit, and come back and deal with it later. Yeah, looking over here, I left this smelting area like half-baked. It wasn't fully finished yet, so I figure I'll try to complete that area. Yeah, so this is going to be an iron area. And yeah, I'll eventually need more steel, but I haven't bothered to upgrade that yet. Yeah, this area is supposed to be an increased amount of iron because of the extremely high cost of iron to make the belts. You do kind of need a pretty high amount of smelting if you really want to get anywhere in terms of faster belts. Yeah, we're still in the part of the game where the iron costs are extremely high. We haven't switched over to being circuits, as the main restrictor of items being produced. Yeah, just clear some of this out, make it look nice. Place those things down. I'll grab more belts. So I placed the furnaces down, but I don't actually have enough belts to properly do the design, so I'll need to grab those. To go and try and grab those whenever I get the opportunity. Pick up a cool stack of 500 iron and deal with it when I get the chance. Yeah, the iron requirement for the gun turrets is also extremely high. So it's pretty it's pretty difficult to measure or to actually make it so you get enough of the things that you want. At least in the early game. The turrets take like 20 gears, which each gear costing 4 iron plates is a pretty substantial requirement. And yeah, so I need to connect the coal and the iron ore into this area, as well as placing the required inserters. So I get enough for that area. I'll connect up the power poles. And there we go. throw that down. Well, maybe I'll throw lights in afterwards as well. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Lights will make it look nice. Yeah, there we go. Connect up the power to the other, or to the main grid. It takes like 40 inserters with this design to get the smelting system up and operating. But again, the major cost that I'm running into is the extremely high requirement of belts. And you know, once you upgrade to red belts, once you research logistics too, you don't really want to use the bad belts anymore. So yeah, 22 belts, lots of underground belts, so we should be able to use those to some decent effect, picking up some stuff. And of course you want to make the path, or connect the path up to where it needs to go. Yeah, I find the paths add a lot of aesthetics to the base, so it's nice to have them. Paths and lights are really the things that look good. And yeah, because of the perspective, I do want to clear out a number of trees beyond where I would actually place things, just to make it so you can actually see what's going on. I'm looking here like, how do I want to grab the coal from this line? And I figure this way is good. We'll pass it over the belts and combine these two together. There we go. Just run those along as far as I can. And I'll split them right before the actual line. And yeah, a lot of the problems with the smelters there is that the belts just aren't fast enough to properly transport, or to properly have enough throughput to fully allow the iron to run. Yeah. You see, like, I was gone for a good 3 or 4 minutes. I only got 6 regular belts, which is a pretty small amount. I'm just taking a peek at the uranium, seeing how it is, looking around at the map. But yeah, the amount of gears you need to make one red belt, I keep saying it, but it's actually, it's pretty absurd. And I haven't even gotten to blue, where it takes like, you know, another 5-fold on top of that to make one blue belt. It'll be interesting when I get to that position. You can see with the electric energy distribution, I'm not getting a full amount of the labs producing green science. So only about 15 of the 20 are actually being used. And it seems to be a problem with the inserter production. So it's just that the iron isn't being... There's not enough gears getting to the... there's not enough gears getting to the basic inserter in the science area to actually produce properly. Just place all these things. Just like eventually get the design here going the way I want it. And connect that up. I want to add in the... I gotta connect that. Okay, that should be fine. It's not too many smelters, so we just kind of connect it up to the line that's going to the smelting area and see how that is. Yeah, because of the compact main bus, I've been unable to... a lot of the issues with the very later stages of the bus, the stuff at the very end, is getting significantly less resources than it would need. I'm not really going to fix that because I have a different kind of design for this base. I want it to... I want the smelting area to lead directly into an important production facility. Like, so we'll go smelting, into circuits, into extra stuff. Because I find that circuits are always the things that are most required. And I want to make sure the resources go towards the circuits before they go towards anything else. But that's more of a late game design, and it's just keep in mind that the plan is there, which is why I'm not fiddling with the belt too much when it is having issues. And here I'm just taking a peek at the resources nearby. I got some pretty big patches because of the design of the world that I ended up with, or the settings of the world that I used, which is pretty nice. We don't want for many resources. It's just that actually getting there and setting them up so that they flow into the base effectively is the problem, which is what you want in Factorio, really. So yeah, hopefully by now I have enough belts. Figure out, run over, take a look at the new area that I want to look at. Or the new area I want to set up. And I feel I can at least get one line going. Yeah, I'll work on the portions of the bottom. I'll upgrade the iron wherever I can, or upgrade the belts wherever I can. Yeah, switching to a high throughput area is always nice. And using the underground belts in place of regular belts does mean you can get more yield. There we go. Just even if it's not very far, just placing them does help. Yeah, so you can see those lines of iron are getting pretty well stacked. We're pretty much maximum throughput on yellow belts. So upgrading those to red will really help the ability of the base, and kind of just increasing the stone path going down. I end up walking in this area pretty frequently. And I haven't gotten to the point where I can just like throw concrete everywhere for the speed boost. I just kind of, I'm looking at how things are going. I'm trying to figure out how I want the military science pack area to be designed. So I've got the area for the turrets, for the bullets and the turrets, but I haven't actually got the gears. And getting the gears, like I was saying in the last episode, getting the gears is a awkward design because of the coal. I almost never bust coal. I just don't find it worth it. So getting them to fit properly into a design that should be scalable is not very convenient. So it's a little bit of a mental exercise to try to get the design properly finished. And yeah, just throwing down some what are they called? Stone bricks wherever, in the areas that I walk frequently. And I'm trying to belt the areas that I'm trying to belt the side of the smelting setup that I'm actually using just to get more iron into the system so that I can get more belts. You know, it's like once you get to a certain point in Factorio, you're not really, you're just solving problems. You're not really changing much. Yeah, it takes a bit of thought to figure out how I want this to actually go. I need 2 belts on the income. Two belts coming in, so that I can put all of the necessary resources on, or resources towards the military science packs. And just clear out a little bit of space, get rid of that stone. Yeah, I do a lot of placing everything down and then tearing it up because I don't like the way that it'll end up. So yeah, 2 seems to be a good number for what I'm doing though. Yeah, I do a lot of tearing down and putting back together. So yeah, we'll come back to that area once when I get a better idea of what I want to do. I'm mostly just trying to set everything up in a way that, I'm working on things while I'm waiting for the belts to finish so that I can start upgrading areas and get more iron into the place. And we just finished Electric Energy Distribution 1, which means we get better power poles and the I don't actually know their name, but the kind of like the big power poles that you use for long distances. So we upgraded that. I'm just upgrading all of the yellow belt in the actual belt production area because I want to make sure I get as much iron to this location as possible. If I upgrade that, that means I get more belts faster, which means I can upgrade other portions of the base faster. So yeah, for the next level of bullets, you need basic bullets as well as copper and steel to actually produce them properly. So I'm just connecting up the copper into this area, getting it all the way down to here, chopping down any trees in my way. And yeah, just place that thing there. Yeah, I haven't, so we've got the copper in position, but I don't have the steel or the bullet being produced yet. I'll work on those soon. And I'm thinking right here, you know, now that I have a fully saturated iron belt going in, I want to actually fully saturate the gears. So I'll add in 2 more assembly machines to this area to try to get more gears being produced in, more gears being produced so that I can get more belts. Yeah, so I'm just taking a look over here, seeing why the science isn't properly being produced. You just like waiting around, seeing what the problems might be. So yeah. Yeah, all of those gear assembly machines aren't even being used. They're just all going straight into producing belts. It's very costly. So I'm going to place the regular bullet stuff here and connect in the steel into that belt that leads into it. So the bullets will be placed on the far side of the belt, and then the steel will be, you know, shunted in on the near side, meaning that, you know, I'll get everything I need for the bullets. Bullets produce pretty quickly, and the resources they require aren't very tough. So normally I find one assembly machine works pretty well for both the previous, or the precursors, and the ending point. There we go. Connect that in. We still have a open half of the belt if I want to connect. If I want to add in more steel stuff later on in the belt, and then just like splitting the iron that goes towards the turret in half so that I can start getting these bullets produced. And just pick up a couple more belts. I'm pretty happy with the way the production is going now that I've upgraded the belts going towards the area, as well as a couple other things, or as well as the gears leading towards the red belt production. Yeah, so those two things are pretty good. We're 2/3 of the way to producing military science packs. We'll just light up the area a little bit more. I'm gonna need to add in the grenades portion though, which is not always the most convenient part of getting this stuff going. Yeah, just bring coal down along this way, right beside the batteries. I think plastic and grenades are the only things coal are really used for. If there is another thing, but the only reason I don't know is because I never use it. You know, just get the batteries going that way. Cool, so the coal's getting added to the bus. It basically immediately just gets pulled off onto the area where I want the grenades being produced. But you're just getting that there. I figure I will start needing the steel, so I should stop putting it all into a chest at the very end there. And we're going to very soon end up in the position where we are actually low on steel, so I'll have to upgrade that design as well. And we're starting to get to the later game, or the mid game of Factorio, where instead of having lots of production of resources, you kind of get in this like weird swap between resources being produced or not having enough production facilities and not having enough base resources. So you kind of flip-flop between those. But we're not there yet. We're getting close though. So this way I've got the coal going in on one side, picks up the iron that would be used on it picks up the iron that would have been used on the turrets, and then just use that. The military science isn't important enough that I want to properly automate it, or like work super hard on making a really good, well-designed system. So I just set this up the way that will function, picking up the grenades from one side and placing the science on the other side. You know, if something's not important, you don't really need to worry about it being a little spaghetti. So overall, I'm happy with the way the military design was done. Yeah, I'm happy with the way this thing works, because I almost never do the military science, so it's not like I need a huge amount of it. It's just not as important as blue science or other ones like that. And just get some more circuits. And there we go. So we are functionally producing military science, and I just don't have a use for it yet. I'll put it in a buffer chest. I'll just throw it in a buffer chest and allow it to eventually get up to the main bus. There we go. So yeah, we'll collect all of that. It'll be a very well-designed system. We'll be very happy with it. And yeah, now that it's been a decent chunk of time, I'm gonna go and try to finish up the smelting design that I had before. Only got half of it done, so I want to finish, or yeah, want to get that going as far along as possible. And I am going to need to connect the belt the belt with the coal and the iron ore. Connect that up to where I actually need to place the things. Yeah, unfortunately, still a little low on the belt production. Been using most of it for the military science area, so we're just working slowly towards that part. Yeah, just dump all of the unnecessary fuel I have in my inventory. Still have the small inventory, so I need to keep an eye on that, make sure I don't go overboard, or don't fill it up with a bunch of wood and other things that I don't need. I'll run along the belt while I'm heading off to grab more belts and just pick up some of the resources. I'm going to need the iron pretty consistently, and I don't have the ability to just ask for it through logistics yet, so, you know, just gotta grab it while we run. So yeah, the major issue I'm having right now isn't so much that I'm not producing enough, it's that I'm not able to actually have enough throughput into the main bus. So I'm trying to fix that problem by just adding more red belts to the main line of iron. We're getting a decent amount of military science packs now. It's still a little slow. Only one gear facility for the turrets doesn't actually turn out to be enough, and the iron production for the base, since it's mostly eaten up by the logistics area that I keep running into with the different kinds of belts being produced, since most of the iron's taken up there, not much of it gets to the actual gun turrets. So yeah, I'll just keep upgrading one of these lines while I can, get higher throughput wherever possible. And yeah, just taking a look at some of the resource patches again. I have a pretty big stack of iron up in the north, as well as that huge one at the end of the bus that I need to worry about still. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're just trying to upgrade the belts, really. Just trying to get enough throughput for the base, pick up any unnecessary mining drills, anything that ran out. So we're getting closer. The higher throughput dream has almost been realized. And yeah, we're still producing an okay amount of that stuff. I figure I'll upgrade some of these things, or some of the belts, whatever I can, while I'm waiting. Yeah, it's really just a throughput issue right now. Once the throughput problem is solved, we'll be in a very good place. And yeah, I figure I'll just pick up some bullets while I'm here. Might as well, just in case any biters attack. They don't really end up attacking. They're pretty, because of the size of the starting area and the fact that they're not going to, if I kill them, they're not going to come back. They don't really seem to be much of an issue in this game. I haven't really had any problems yet. Got 29 Yeah, I got 29 belts. So right here the problem is that just there's not, the belts are not fast enough. So I'm going to tear up some of these basic yellow belts, replace them with the underground belts. Because I have significantly more underground red belts than I do just regular red belts. Especially since they upgraded the distance red belts can go. Yeah, since they upgraded the distance the red belts and the other kinds of belts can go underground, I find it very useful to use them in replacement for other things. But yeah, that's been the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. Thomas Plays Games. I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.